Hello Power Rangers fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at what I believe is the final entry in the Power Rangers Dino Fury Zord Link line, and that is the Mosa Razor Zord. Technically, this is not the last entry. The last entry is the one I took a look at last time, because that was the number 5 entry, the Ptera Freeze Megazord, and this one is number 4. So if you saw that original video that I posted about 2 or so weeks ago, in that video I talked about how I got that one sent to me first from Amazon. But it ended up working out because that video had a lot more stuff to do, because I had to combine it with the T-Rex individually and all that stuff and turn it into the egg mode and the Pterodon. And this one here is going to be a good video to do the full-on Primal Ultrazord that we needed the Zord, we needed the Mosa Razor to do. So we finally have this here. So this is the Gold Ranger's primary Zord. And unfortunately, we cannot do as much with this as we should be able to do with this. Because we are supposed to be able to combine this with the T-Rex Champion and whatever we call Demu Volcano over here, which I never remember, the Blaze Zord, the fire one, the Dimetrodon, or whatever it's supposed to be, or Stegosaur, or whatever it is. But that one we never got. So they're supposed to be in Rue Soldier and in the show, in Dino Fury, in the original toy line. There is a combination with just the Mosa Razor and that. There's a combination with the two of those and the T-Rex. But for this one, the only combinations we can do is the Zord mode, or the Megazord mode. Of course, you can do whatever random combinations you want with all the pegs and everything. And then, of course, the more official Primal Ultrazord. So that's definitely unfortunate and definitely makes this one not as desirable, I suppose. And it kind of sucks, this is the 6 Rangers primary mecha. We should be able to do a lot of stuff with this, but we just can't. But it does look good, and I am happy to finally have it here. So yeah, today we're going to take a look at this, we're going to take a look at that form, and we're going to combine it all into the Primal Ultrazord. So obviously, as we can see here, it shows off that you can separate it. You can show off the Megazord mode and the Mosa Razor, like Mosa mode or whatever. On the side here, we have it in its Megazord mode, which does look pretty sweet. And on the other side, we have, I think, the exact same shot of the Primal Ultrazord we had on the Ptera Freeze box. And on the back, very similar, it shows you can use the key in the Dino Knight Morpher, which was another thing. In my Ptera Freeze video, I didn't have my Dino Knight Morpher with me. I have it here today, so I will show off what this does in it, and I also show off what the Ptera key does in it as well. And then it shows off here, you can make 1, 4, 5 to make the Primal Ultrazord, 1 and 5 make that, 1 and 4 make this, which is not a thing from the show, I'm pretty sure, but we could do it. We can make whatever this is supposed to be if there's instructions for it, which if you saw the Ptera Freeze, you know how great I am at being able to actually understand these instructions, which is not at all. So let's go ahead and open up the Mosa Razor here, and I got mine off of Amazon. I think it's in stock. I will leave a link to it in the description below if it is, but it also has been found at Targets and such, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And you can also get it coming up in the fall in that big Amazon exclusive 3-pack to make the Primal Ultrazord. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box and take a look at the Mosa Razor. Alright, so here are all the components of the Mosa Razor just as they come out of the box. So you get the primary body, the whole bulk of it really, and then you get the weapon out of the box there, which, because this is all in cardboard now, because there's no more plastic and Hasbro packaging, it is a little bent there a little bit, but it's not too bad because it's, it's like that rubbery kind of plastic. And then you get the feet, which are separate. So thankfully mine are all good. I have seen some people where they get the same foot like twice, so that's not good, but mine is okay. So we just have to peg this in, just like all the other Megazords in this line so far. We've had to peg in the feet on these ball joints, which means they're probably like interchangeable if you really would want to do that. And then let's pan the camera up a little bit so we can have the full Megazord in the shot, and then you can just give it the weapon to him. And yeah, there we go. So this is pretty cool. I do like this one a lot. I could really try to kind of angle him up somewhat naturally, I suppose. He just looks very stiff. Oh, and there goes his arm. So one thing about these Megazords in this Dino Fury line is that, the entire line, is that they love to not stay together at all. So, but there it is. That is the Mosa Razor in its Megazord mode. So it's interesting because this one is only one of the 3 that doesn't have like a chest main thing that plugs in. So it makes it look like unfinished, but this is it. This is how it's supposed to look in its default mode here. And of course you still get pretty good amount of articulation with this guy that you've seen in the other Megazords. It's pretty much the same. So you do get the legs being able to move out that much. You do get a bend there. It's a little stiffer though on this one than it is. Oh jeez, it's a lot more stiffer on this one. Oh wow, oh gosh, I do not like that at all. That one is extremely stiff compared to the other ones. You can rotate it there, bend it and move it all over the place there. The arms, if they don't, try to come off the port there, can extend that way. They can move all around. They can bend at the elbows, which is pretty nice. The hands don't rotate this time because they actually are on a Zord link port there. No waist articulation. I don't think this one... Oh, well, it does separate there, so you can do that, which I think is for transformation reasons. And the sword just came flying out of his hand, so let me put that back there. And then the head, because it's on the Dino Fury key, can move a little bit, which, ooh. Oh, look at that. There's oh, okay. There's articulation up there, which I'm assuming is because you have to turn it. Oh, wait. Oh, this arm is already just not wanting to stay on whatsoever. So now that we got the key out of here, we can take a look at the key in the Morpher and everything. So get that out of the way. So here is the key, which is essentially just the Gold Ranger key that we've got in the regular toy line. But of course, it has the more detailed head. It has the articulation on there. And inside, it should have a Gold Ranger. And most certainly does. So that is pretty cool. I do like that Hasbro included that. You know what helps? When you turn the toys on. That usually helps. Did it even acknowledge that I put a key in there? Maybe. It made a little sound like I did. So, let's try Ptera Freeze. Alright, I think it understood it. So, we'll go and turn this back off. I think the Dino Night Morpher is definitely a better toy. But we'll see how it reads these. So here is Gold's. Doesn't like that one, apparently. Let's try that again. Look at that! Finally! So now it makes ice noises. I have no idea why it didn't before. I hate this toy, to be honest with you. And then next up we have this key. Which I guess I just can't read. I'm not even going to keep trying with it. So let's keep messing around with the Zord now. So that's the keys. We can just get all that out of there. Because all they're really good for is being the heads of the Megazords anyway. So let's go and take a look at this in its Zord mode. Okay, so now it's time to transform this into its Zord mode. So of course I'm going to be using the instructions for this. Because I have no idea where to even begin. So basically right there, of course, it tells you what we already did earlier, which was attaching the feet and attaching the sword. And then inside, so it looks like we get... Okay, so you do get instructions for the Primal Ultrazord in here as well, which is nice. I wasn't sure if we would get that or not, because it was in the Ptera Freeze one, but it is cool that it's in both of them. Although I think, actually, this might be showing you... I'll have to go and compare the notes with the Ptera Freeze to see if it's showing you primarily Mosa Razor stuff here. But, I mean, for the most part, you know, we should be able to figure it out between the two instructions, obviously. But here... It's the 7 steps to get it into its Mosa mode, I suppose. So this doesn't look too tricky. I think I could definitely pull this off. So the first step is going to be taking the hands off, which are kind of Zords in like their own regard. So they just come off of the Zord Builder port, or Zord Builder, wow, that's the old one, Zord Link port pretty easily. So also kind of looking around at some ports that he has, there are ports that are on the back of these that are right there. So that is nice, but you know, these are kind of supposed to be like little Zords of themselves. They have little eyes there, and they were like that in Soldier, and they're like that here for Dino Fury. So after we take those off, we're going to take the key out and close the head like we did earlier. So take the key out, which is a little tricky on this one, and then just close the mouth plates up there to form, you know, also we rotate it too. So rotate it that way to kind of make the whole, you know, head of the Megazord, or the Zord, I suppose. And then from there, we're going to collapse the legs in and fold the arms up and fold the fins down. Okay, so very easy. So it looks like we gotta just align these up like so, and then collapse the legs in, and then, nope, don't take that off. And then fold these fins down like that, I believe. Oh, look at that. There's a big Zord Builder port, Zord Link port right down there. So that's interesting. So are those going to like move at all? I don't think, or do they clip in at all? I don't think that they do. So we just rotate these forward like that. And then the fins would go down, right? Make sure got them facing the right orientation. So they actually might supposed to be up for Megazord mode, but then down for Zord mode. So something like that. And then from there, I think we just attach the tail piece, which is the sword, and that would do it. So, oh, I see. Okay, so the tail. Okay, so there's a little hole in there for that. Oh, so you gotta like hold this together, and then it will clip in, hopefully, to both of the Zord Link ports, which will allow it to maybe, if it wants to cooperate, keep the legs together. Oh, nope, didn't get it. Yep, this is definitely a little tricky. See, it just wants to connect to like one side of it. It doesn't want to line it up. There we go. So, and now we'll flip this over and we'll put the camera down so you can actually see it. And there is the Mosa Razor in its Zord mode. So that is pretty cool. So it's supposed to be, you know, kind of an aquatic dinosaur. It's Mosa Rex from Rue Soldier. So definitely a fun one. I definitely like how you can open the mouth there, which is, I mean, pretty much for transformation reasons, but yeah, very fun. So I like this. And look at that, you get these little hands that you can, I think, fold out if you want to. Actually, it kind of looks weird when you have them up like that. These little, like, raptor hands or whatever. You know, you can still move this because of the articulation. So that's, or maybe you're supposed to. I'm not sure. To have them folded out, to have the fins out more, possibly. So, you know, you can kind of just do whatever you want with that. But that is its Zord mode, which is, you know, simple, as you saw. Didn't take much to transform it. It's a pretty sizable Zord mode. So we finally have the 3 Megazord components to make up the Primal Ultrazord, and just kind of hope that there's enough space on the shelf to do this. So this is going to be a combination only using, and not even using everything, but using pieces from the T-Rex Champion Zord, the Mosa Razor, and the Ptera Freeze. So I've already taken a look at all of these, and you don't use any components of any of the other Zords that we have. So basically, the other 4 that we have are just because why not for Hasbro, to be honest. These are kind of the only important Zords in the line, I suppose. So these are the 3 Megazords, and now we can make the actual Ultrazord. Now, one thing that is interesting that I wanted to bring up, so I have the instructions here from the Ptera Freeze and the Mosa Razor. So they do both show 19 steps of doing this to make the Primal Ultrazord, but they do look to be kind of a little bit different in how they say it. So I'll just look at both of them and we'll make something, and we'll just see how accurate it ends up being. But I did want to also point out before I get started here that I got comments on my Ptera Freeze video that pointed out that you could, as he's, yep, just let it happen, that pointed out that the head crest for the Primal Ultrazord you could store underneath the shield, which I had absolutely no idea because the instructions never said that. So I'm glad that people did point that out, because I would have had no idea where to put that. And I was wondering if there was a storage place for it, because it was kind of annoying to just have it on its own. It doesn't like to stay in there very well, but it does. So, and it will kind of just stay in there when you have it clipped into the arm. So to get started here, and I don't think this shows that combination that was on the box of just T-Rex Champion and Mosa Razor. So I'm not going to bother with it. So it's just like a weird combination that they showed off. The only combinations that this shows is the Zord mode we just took a look at, and then Primal Ultrazord. So I think I'm probably going to start with the instructions on the Ptera Freeze side of things, because I think it just kind of helps you prepare it more, I think. Possibly. So the first step, I believe, on both of them, and we'll probably just follow the Ptera Freeze more anyway. So it starts with the T-Rex Champion Zord and wants you to take the key out and take the entire torso off. So we'll go ahead and start. So we'll take the key out and take the entire torso off. So, like that. So I didn't mean to clip in the legs when I did that, just kind of did. So, spacing on this is going to be a real pain. And then we're going to take the head, the shield, and the key off of Ptera Freeze, and then take that off of its torso joint as well. So pop that right back off, even though I just did that. Take the key out and pop that off of its torso joint. I'm pretty confident we don't use anything else of Ptera Freeze over there, just the top of it, but we'll see. And then next up, we're going to place the torso of Ptera Freeze onto the torso of T-Rex Champion. So kind of like you do when you make the T-Rex mode of this thing. Kind of. Although it's sort of the reverse, because for that one, I think you kind of use other pieces. But yeah, we're going to take this and put it into that joint, which is the same joint. So that makes sense. So that kind of forms the base of this, and then I think we can kind of just put this off to the side for a minute. And then next up, we're going to prep the Mosa Razor. So it actually shows it in the Mosa Rex form compared to that. So it says take the head off, or take the head off, take the arms off, take the tail and the legs. All right, so we'll see how that goes. I didn't even know you could take this head off. I didn't really want to try. So I guess we're probably not going to need this key at all, which this one is the most difficult to take off of there. But I guess can you take the head off? Oh, I didn't want to split it there, but I think we have to anyway. It's just this piece. Okay, I see. So, all right. Yeah. Next up, split that there. I think, yep, that's what it said to do. So yeah, split those, take the arms off, the head off. Fold in some? Oh, okay, fold in this peg. Okay, I didn't realize that was even there. And then we're gonna clip those to the bottom of this as little shoes somehow. So we will figure out how to do that. So they want us to have it folded out so it would be like this, essentially. On that side and that side, I assume. Yeah, okay. So these will be shoes now, which looks like I should have enough room. So this is going to peg into the port that's on the bottom of the foot of T-Rex Champion. So let's see how well that's going to work. Oop, nope. Did not get it. Oh, this scares me. Okay, there we go. That one's in. And next up, we got this one. All right, that's the satisfying click I want to hear. I just want to kind of straighten this out a little bit. No, not fold that down. There we go. Do what I want, Megazord. Okay. Well, it looks like we're doing pretty good on space right now. We'll just move this up a tad. I think it's really not going to get too much taller than this, so it's probably a good sign. It just kind of looks lopsided, but maybe it's not. But all right, there we go. All right, so next up from there, we're going to fold the fins inward, which they already were, kind of. So just fold those inward, and then rotate the head and place it onto that joint, I believe. Which I already did rotate the head. So this is just going to become a giant piece right there, which does look pretty cool. I do like that. And then we're going to take one of the drills from T-Rex Champion, or one of the little blaster cannon things. So this one, which I realized that the other one is not even here. It's in my bin. So we'll put that off to the side. And I just want you to clip that in right there. Because, why not? So, wow. I've grabbed the piece from the bin. So now that we have that piece, we're going to take the T-Rex head and clip in the drill. And then the other little blaster thing, and then the drill. So let's grab the two drill pieces. Which, as you can see, this is the one that has a broken port on mine. Because these ports are kind of terrible, to be honest. Oh, we're going to need the head too, so I guess we just don't use this piece at all. So take this, and then, what did I say? I said drill, then blaster, then drill. So you want to rotate the head this way, and then have a drill go here, and then the blaster piece clip in there, and then the other drill piece clip in there, and then this entire thing is going to go right there, I believe. I think it's in the right spot too. Yes, I do believe that it is. All right, and then from there, we're going to clip in the two arms from Mosa Razor somewhere. Where did the other arm go? It's right here. But it doesn't have these pieces attached, question mark? I don't think it does. Don't think it is. We're right here. We're on number 14. And they are going to clip in here, I think. Oh, wait, here. There we go. and here. I think I have them in the right spot. I might have them in the wrong spot. I mean, I have them in the right spot, but I don't remember if I have them on the right side. But I think I do. So it's definitely becoming rather top heavy now. So we can kind of straighten this out so it's somewhat the same as it's supposed to be. All right, there we go. So that looks pretty cool. It looks like something. So we're definitely getting there. And yes, I do have them in the right spot. So that's good. And then from there, we're almost done. We're pretty much done. From there, we're going to take the head crest out of the shield. And that shield piece is going to clip in to the chest. So we're going to take the pterodactyl head off, clip that in there, and then re-clip that into the chest. I can't find a good spot. There we go. And then I think, do we fold this piece up? Yes, we do. And then from there, all right, guys, we got it. So from there, we just have to take the Ptera Freeze key and place this piece over it. All right, wait, do I have the right key? I actually don't know if I have the right key. Hold on. I may have lied. We may not have it yet. So which key is it? It goes on to the one key that is, the one key. That is not the Ptera Freeze key. That is the T-Rex key. All right, so T-Rex key. There we go. I think. Yes, we got it. There we go. And then, oh, almost. Come on. Stay on there. Stay on there. You got this. I believe in you. Clip in. Clip in. Please. We got it. The Primal Ultrazord, finally. That was a pain, and it barely wants to stay together. I feel like if I look at this run, it will collapse. But we got it, so that is it. So I'm happy that we finally were able to pull it off here. And I do like the combination. I just kind of wish it didn't leave so many pieces all over the place. Honestly, you can make a Megazord out of the pieces that we have left. So let's just do that. So, we still have the tail piece. We still have some legs from Ptera Freeze. So we can take those legs. We can't even use all the pieces for one Megazord. But we could put that on there. And then we could use, the key from Mosa Razor as the head. And then we could use... I don't know. We could clip these up here as, shoulders if you wanted to do that. And then you could clip... Could we clip these tails together somehow? Because that would look kind of neat if we could. To make some kind of weird weapon. Although, actually, that probably wouldn't work very well. So we could probably take this tail piece and, have that be a weapon on one of the arms. And then have this be just a weapon that he holds. Because it already has a port to hold it. And then the key just, off to the side. So you can make a little extra bonus Megazord out of all the pieces you don't use, or most of the pieces you don't use. But yeah, that's it. That is the Primal Ultrazord from the Power Rangers Dino Fury Zord Link line. So I do recommend this, and if you buy the Amazon 3-pack, you're going to get every single thing that you see here to be able to make this thing. And like I said, you don't even need every piece from these Megazords, let alone do you need the other, pink, black, blue, and green Zords, unfortunately. I do like this combination. I just wish that it used more. That is kind of one of my biggest gripes of the Soldier line, is that it didn't use enough pieces, and it definitely could have. Look how many ports we still have. We have a ton of ports over here. We have 2 ports up here on the wings. We have ports there. We have, a port up there. We have a tiny little port there. You could reconfigure this and use every piece. We have tons of ports on the side of T-Rex Champion, by the way, too. So, you could probably find some kind of way to use every single piece, but this is the show-accurate way of doing it for the Primal Ultrazord. And it's basically, the Ptera Freeze just plops on the legs of T-Rex Champion and is surrounded by some pieces of the Mosa Razor that they felt like using. But it is cool, and you still get a pretty good amount of articulation on here, because of the way it combines, you don't really lose a lot of the arm articulation. You definitely lose a little bit of the legs, just because of the giant shoes that he's now standing on top of. But I do highly recommend this Megazord. I do think it's fun, and because of all the different port opportunities, you could use, like I said, like we showed here, you can make all these pieces into a little Megazord on its own, which I don't even think looks that bad. So, you can still have a lot of fun with the ports across the line. And if you have the other Zords, you could add pieces of them onto here. You could just make your own Primal Ultrazord or whatever you want to do. But that's all I have to say about the Mosa Razor Zord and the Primal Ultrazord. But that's it. That's a wrap on my reviews of the Power Rangers Dino Fury Zord Link line. So I do overall like this line. It definitely has its problems, though. And it is definitely unfortunate that we didn't get the rest of the Zords that we see in the show, because it just would have been nice to get a full Zord line, especially with all the port opportunities and fun things you could do. But that's all I have. Until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And be sure to check out the reviews of all the other Dino Fury Zords and other Dino Fury toys here on Toku Topics, which will be linked in the playlist in the end card. And I'll see you all next time.